न जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजां नतोऽहं सदा सर्वदा शम्भुतुभ्यं जराजन्म दुःखोऽगतातप्यमानं प्रभो पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो।
A warm welcome to all the devotees on Raksha Sutra English. We are going to narrate wonderful holy stories to all the devotees from the book Miracles of Love by Ramdas Ji, an exclusive devotee of Maharaj Ji. Please listen carefully, all the devotees. When Maharaj Ji came to the Lucknow temple for the last time, he would say to each person who came, if he or she could afford to do so, go get sweets. And when they would return with sweets, he would distribute them, almost 1500 rupees worth that day. One doctor bought 1000 rupees worth of sweets, and the personal problem causing him concern was solved. In the period between 1939 and 1949, when Maharaj Ji would come into a town such as Nainital, all the women would prepare food in the hope that he would come to their homes. They did it out of a mixture of loving service and the feeling that it was a blessing to feed such a saint. And K.K., who followed him from early morning until late at night, once watched him consume 20 full meals in one day. Another reported watching him take 10 meals in a row. And if you have been to India and understand the graciousness of the Indian home, where the guest is treated as God, you will appreciate the immense portions and the persistence in feeding. An Indian meal is more than ample for a normal human being, but perhaps Maharaj Ji's immense capacity represented something other than dietary requirements. One morning Maharaj Ji said to the people at the ashram, "You people can't feed me or take care of me. I am going to Ma, she will feed me." And he left for the ashram of Ananda Mai Ma, a great woman saint of northern India. During the entire trip he was saying, "She will feed me. I am going to see Ma, she will feed me." Then he burst into the darshan room like a child of 5, with his blanket flying in all directions. She was sitting there and he was saying, "Ma, feed me, Ma." She exploded in laughter. A huge meal was brought to him, and the two of them passed it out to all the devotees. Again and again Maharaj Ji enjoined us to feed people. His concern was not merely for his own devotees, but with all people who hunger. He would say, "God comes to the hungry in the form of food." And to the cooks he would say, "Making food is a service to God. People need food to stay alive." He used to say that you should serve everything, every creature. It is all God's creation. Serve everyone, whether he be a dacoit. Dacoit means thief, or anything else. If he comes to you hungry, give him food. So often he said, everyone has a right to be fed. Maharaj Ji's own behavior set a dramatic example for us. Besides feeding all who came to have his darshan, he was continually arranging for large bhandaras. Bhandaras means celebrations consisting of mass free feedings for all comers, including the wealthy, the poor, the beggars, the lepers. The people were fed when they arrived, for Maharaj Ji instructed, "A starving person should not have to wait. Such a person should be fed when he is hungry." At these great bhandaras, which often served 1,000 or more many devotees, would buy to help in the preparation and distribution of the food. Here, judge and merchant, teacher and politician could all be found peeling potatoes, stirring the huge pots, or ladling out the halwa or rice with huge spoons. The Kumbh Melas were even more festive occasions. These are gatherings of hundreds of thousands of sadhus, saints, and seekers who come from all over India in order to bathe in the confluence of three rivers, the Ganges, the Yamuna, and the Saraswati, an underground spiritual river, at an auspicious astrological moment. It is like a huge spiritual fair that goes on for a month or more at the Melas. Maharajji's tent usually served 250 to 500 a day for at least a month. That is a lot of potatoes to be peeled. During these celebrations, Maharajji demanded hard work of the devotees, and many saw these experiences as training in discipline. One devotee describes the experience this way. At the Mela, they prepared khichdi. Khichdi means a rice and pulses mixture, but the serving spoon was very heavy, and soon the servers, growing tired, began to serve only small portions. As a result, the beggars would stand in line again and again to get enough to eat. Finally, one of Maharajji's devotees got very angry, and just then Maharajji arrived from Chitrakoot, a place sacred to devotees of Ram. He yelled at them and said they could not serve food with anger, and that they should give plenty to everyone. Another, pointing out that the devotees were not even praised for working hard, said, no matter how hard people worked at the Melas and Bhandaras, Maharajji would say, you people are playing and going about doing nothing. You are always sleeping. Although people were continually bringing food to Maharajji, which he distributed sometimes, there were more to receive than there were givers. It was at these times that the discerning eye caught Maharajji manifesting what is known as Siddhi. Siddhi means power. Siddhi of Annapurna. Annapurna is the goddess of grain, the aspect of the Divine Mother that feeds the universe. One who has Annapurna Siddhi can keep distributing from a store of food, yet it will remain full. Stories of this section take chai is more, so further stories will be narrated to all devotees in next episode. To listen the wonderful holy stories of Maharajji, please like, share, subscribe the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell icon. Write in the comment box, Jai Neem Karoli Babaji Maharaj.